J.J. Abrams.
Oh, yeah, J.J. Abrams is here.
Welcome back to the show, sir.
Seat, sir.
There's,
Nice.
yeah, you can't win with a kid.
We were just talking to Rich Voss over here. We were just talking to his daughter. She's like 22.
22.
On the phone, and she is just an entitled, I got to say it, bitch.
She was very bitchy.
She really was bitchy.
Yeah.
She was asking for the iPhone 5 and a car and
new tires and
just really annoying.
But one thing, she didn't complain that we didn't put her in our movie, our documentary, our big documentary, the movie we made.
Look who you're sitting next to.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out.
I know what he's doing here.
Hold on, what I'm saying is...
He just embarrassed all of us.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. You know... We've already had offers and it's not even finished. But what I'm saying is...
I want to talk to Rich about his movie. I want to talk to JJ about his TV show.
JJ, I'm embarrassed.
Why? Jesus.
He's a local guy that we had in.
I'm not a fucking local. I'm a national fucking.
I don't know much about him.
Go fuck yourself. I'm a local guy.
He's playing a local comedy club, and you know how that goes with radio.
Now, first of all, I'm carrying the show. I'm Mohegan Sun, the big casino.
Carrying them down with you.
This Saturday.
Like the Titanic carried bodies.
So let me tell you something about these fucking radio hacks. Okay?
JJ's been on our show.
Yeah. Okay, and
JJ on?
all right.
And he had a good time. That's why he's back.
Yeah. Why'd you hide the bullhorn?
I don't have the bullhorn.
Oh, it's broken.
Busted. What are you going to do? Look, J.J. Abrams is here.
Sorry, JJ.
New show.
We only have a few minutes with the guy.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time with him. And I saw the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. And I love this. Well, even when I saw the teasers when it first came out, very cool concept. Earth, there we are, going about our business. And every bit of power gone, just goes out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have wondered what would happen if that actually did happen, how long it would take for things to kind of get a little dodgy.
Yeah, I'd last about an hour.
About an hour, yeah.
Maybe an hour.
And especially if it was worldwide, because that would freak people out.
No, it's nuts. I mean, it's a great what if. This guy Eric Kripke came and pitched the show, and it was just this. It's funny because the show he pitched was almost more like a Lord of the Rings quest adventure, and I was like, the hell? And then he said, and it takes place here in the not-too-distant future. And I was like, what? And the pitch of everything going out, you kind of think, well, let's get past the science of that for a second. What would we do? And the truth is, it's kind of unbelievable when you actually think about transportation, communication, just
everything,
eating food, anything, survival. It's insane how much we rely on.
Yeah, what I also liked is how when time goes by, you realize also the little subtleties that you wouldn't notice, like you wouldn't be able to cut down bushes and trees very economically. So, like, the buildings are all just encased in
ivory and all
vines and vegetation.
Rich, what are you doing?
What's going on? I'm looking at Anthony.
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
J.J. Abrams is distracted. He keeps looking at you as Anthony's making some good points about his new show,
Revolution.
Oh, my God, what are you doing?
What are you got? I'm looking.
He's mugging at the camera.
No, I'm not.
I'm trying to talk. JJ.
He looked at me like, is my posture okay? Are you all right?
I'm just sitting right, okay? I love
Ant's
it.
making a really good point about this show.
Relax. He
was talking about bushes. And what are you doing?
I didn't do anything. My Star of David.
Oh, you're breaking the Star of David out. Jesus.
Oh, that's what...
Well, not Jesus, but... Oh, man.
I saw that he was adjusting something, and I thought he was adjusting his shirt.
Jew,
you just want to make sure
to what he does.
And what about your tattoos, Mr. Not paying attention to the rules?
Never again.
Wait a minute.
That's against the rules, right?
Look at that.
That is against the rules.
Huh?
It is. It's contradictory.
No, that's bullshit. It's
Never
not against
again.
the
That's
rules.
what he hears the club owners say after they hire him.
No, because if that's hold on, the Jews are talking now.
He wanted JJ to know he's a Jew.
I know.
Now I get it. Because you didn't have that out earlier.
No.
You just caught on.
Yes.
Listen, you're the kind of guy magic acts love. Here's the thing. Tattoos is bullshit, because if Jews couldn't be buried because of that, they couldn't be buried because of facelifts and nose jobs, because that's defacing your body too. So there wouldn't be one fucking Jew in a cemetery if that was the case.
You've used that joke 100 times.
It's not a joke, it's the truth.
But it's 100 times.
It's the truth.
We cleared that up. I'm glad that's past that.
But I
don't want JJ glancing over to you because he feels uncomfortable when we're talking about his new show, Revolution.
I'm entertained. This is good.
I have a question, like time period wise.
Yep.
Is it you go way in the future eventually, or?
Well, it's 15 years in the future.
Right now.
Yes. And
you know, the power goes out.
Right.
And then they got to go into the future because, you know, At first, it would just be a lot of
Well, we do flashbacks, and you can kind of see what happened over time. But the cool idea, I think, that Eric pitched was this massive thing happens, and we jump ahead.
Yeah.
And the idea is that now we're, you get to kind of see not just what's happening 15 years ahead, but you get to see in flashbacks kind of the highlights of
what happened during the interim. Yeah,
because I asked because we've all seen the show, what happens to Earth if the power goes out, and it gets cooler and cooler, where all of a sudden animals are roaming Manhattan and all that.
Yeah, well, there are storylines that we are doing, and one that we've done where there is this kind of like, the idea of walking down the street in the middle of the city, and there are these feral, wolves and dogs.
Yeah,
it's insane. It's so there is a lot of that stuff too. But the thing that when he pitched the show, there was this kind of crazy big romantic sort of family adventure that he pitched, and I was like, that was what got me. The power going out kind of was the thing that was the catalyst for it, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then also there's of course, because you're involved, there has to be some strange little twist to it. I gather there's some type of way maybe to get the power back on, or
there is,
and this is it's kind of the questing part.
It is one of the if in Lord of the Rings, the ring is the thing. It's like the idea of the power, that getting the power back on. Can it happen? Why did it go off? These are things that Eric's going to actually get to fairly quickly. Like instead of a lot of stuff that I've been involved in, which answers come way late, if at all. These are things actually Eric wants to get.
I don't know what show you're talking about.
I don't even know who you are. But the idea of for Eric, frankly, he's someone who doesn't subscribe to that kind of storytelling where he wants to get things. We argue about this a little bit sometimes. He wants to enter things much quicker than I would.
Okay.
And yet, we'll get answers much sooner than you would otherwise.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I like that because I've saw a couple of little teasers in there about on a very small scale, a little bit of power coming on and things happening. So it kind of leads you to believe.
That is part of the quest of the show.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great concept.
Yeah,
it's fun. I like
absolutely.
This.
If you take a show like, let me just choose one at random, like Lost.
What?
Lost. A little show called Lost.
The whole thing, like initially you think, okay, here's the thing, they crash on an island and now they got to deal with it. That would get old kind of quickly unless there was that weird kind of other story going on that was the big mystery of the whole thing. And that's what I see in Revolution also.
Well, I think that obviously it's a very different kind of show on every level. But I will say that, on Lost, what Damon Lindelof did running that show for 6 years, he did the thing that I actually wouldn't have known how to do, which is he did not just protract that idea, but he dove into these sort of character, dynamics that, to me, was really what the show was about. People were at the end of the series watching, all they wanted to know is what the island was.
Right.
But Damon was telling a story that was really about who these people were, where they were, what they meant to each other, and that was, I thought, a more profound thing than any kind of
payoff, right?
Scientific answer. I mean, it's almost like that thing, if you remember in Pulp Fiction, when they had that case.
Yeah, with the gold light.
And it's like, you never wanted to know what was in that case. You want to know, but you don't want to know.
It didn't matter, really.
But in the end, you don't.
Yeah, but if you know what's in the case, there's no answer that would satisfy you. It's like the beauty of that was you didn't know, and that was the genius of that. So for me, I feel like, there are certain questions that, if you're too coy, if you're playing with the audience, they'll resent you if you don't tell them soon enough, because you cannot give an answer after a while that is a satisfying answer. And I feel like on a show like Revolution, Eric Kripke wants to get to the answers sooner so we can, of course, ask more questions.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
I have a question about Lost, and it could be the dumbest one, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will be, Rich.
I would bet money it is.
Okay, when that show was created in the first season, did they have a vision where it was going, the sixth season, or was it as they were going along building the story arcs?
Well, when we created that show, and we were doing the pilot, and I remember filming the pilot, Damon and I were having conversations about how the series would go and what would happen. But the truth is, anyone who tells you at the beginning of a series that they know exactly how the show is going to end is full of shit. And the reason why is, as you're working on the show, you think, this relationship we're going to do is going to kill. And literally you cast an actor that just destroys it and it's no good. And you're like, and
you're just going to stick with it because you determined you weren't going to do that?
And you'll hire an actor to play a one-day part or a one-episode part, and they're so brilliant, you go, oh my God, this character. And all of a sudden, so for example, Michael Emerson, who was on Lost, he was going to be on that show for one episode. And he came in and, those guys decided there's no way this is going to be part of our main storyline. And so the reality is,
which one was he?
You have to bend.
Which one was he? You literally have to
listen to this evolving, sort of organic, like a live thing. And if you don't, you're actually doing a disservice because you might have a great actor who's on an episode and you're not going to take advantage of it because you're like, no, it has to be done.
You missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's right there in front of you.
In Revolution, you got it's a pretty big. It's a pretty big cast.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Is that harder to work with a larger cast as far as writing and even producing the show than it is kind of a smaller?
It is a little bit, more difficult when you've got a lot of people to serve. And the truth is, as in Lost, there are some characters who have one line, 3 episodes in a row. They'll have a little thing here or there.
I always love the background people. It's like, they have a life and a story. They're stuck here, too.
Yeah.
And they're just there as background people wandering around.
But even some of the main cast, when you get a large cast, when you have a dozen people or so, in your main, you can't have everyone get the spotlight in every episode.
Every episode,
so you gotta, but it also gives you options.
It was fun when you saw some of the main characters in the background. You're like, what's he doing just sitting there?
Well, you had
talk to somebody.
The first season, you had the cute girl and the boyfriend that didn't last.
Yeah.
They lasted like
Pseudo
4
brother
episodes.
and sister.
Yeah, they were like brother and sister or something.
And then she ended up on Taken. Then she ended up on Taken.
But then the guy who played the heroin addict that in real life went out with the lead girl, who I loved his fucking character. I just loved it.
Yeah,
and
he's Charlie. He's the greatest.
Charlie.
Just a great character. I mean, a fucking heroin addict stuck there, and he finds all that heroin.
Enough about Lost. We're here about Revolution.
Yeah, it's all about Revolution.
Although I do have to ask a little bit about Star Trek.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What are we looking at as far as? Give me kind of a timeline when we're going to be seeing this.
Something.
You're seeing it next May.
Next May.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you confirm or deny? Because I heard rumors, but then I heard him kind of dispel.
Give us a scoop
Will there
today.
be any involvement of Khan?
Nice.
It's while it is slightly early to be discussing the movie, I will tell you that we're editing the movie right now, and I could not be more excited about this movie. It is.
Oh, he almost said it. He almost said it.
No, it's really.
We would be
Very
stars
exciting.
today. We'd be on every blog.
I love
this today.
Love
Just say yes.
The first one.
Ask him another question that's in yes, and we'll splice it.
I know.
Do you like ice cream?
I know.
Do you like ice cream?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Yes.
He won't say yes.
I love the first one. The action and the personality.
Nice. He winked. I saw it. I saw a wink.
The ability to be able to take characters that were just beloved.
Yeah.
And you would think there's no way you could actually put new people playing these characters, change storylines around. It's Star Trek heresy, and you pulled it off. It's amazing.
Thank you. It was a big group of people.
And I got to say, because I wasn't a Trekkie growing up whatsoever. I saw the movies, but I'm all in with the reboot.
Oh, right on.
You made.
Yeah,
Will we be seeing lens flare?
I apologize in advance. Wait, is that a camera? You have a flashlight? I can.
Yeah.
No, but the fact is that it is this ridiculous thing that I like to do, and I tried to dial it back a little bit because it was getting a little.
Really?
Well, my wife, like, she'd look at dailies, she'd be like, JJ, come on.
Really? I heard they weren't. You didn't digitally add the lens flare. It was you guys took flashlights.
Here's the thing.
Unless it's the digital scenes. But.
No. We shot on film for both movies, and we literally had dudes with these halogen flashlights off camera. A lot of time it was the DP and doing the thing that you learn as a director of photography to avoid. You're always flagging lights. And he was kind enough to break all the rules, and we actually started to figure out which lenses flare well, which lenses don't flare at all. Like once you have like a zoom lens on, you're screwed. There's no flare. So it's just
I liked it.
I like it.
I like
too,
the technique.
But, there are going to be moments. I'm so self-conscious about it now.
Oh, are you?
There are moments where I'm watching. I'm like, but I don't really care because I
looks
actually like
great.
it. So,
and in Star Trek, it looks amazing.
I know. I shouldn't have done it so much in Super 8, but I did it.
That first, that opening scene of Star Trek, on the initial, yes. With Kirk's father.
No, I'm saying, oh God,
that was
yes.
a lot of action, quick moves, and the lens flare just added to it. Because in some cases, you're kind of trying to look around it. What's happening back there? I see something.
Yeah, there are one or two moments where I feel like I should have definitely pulled it back. I do. I feel guilty.
Well, JJ's got to go.
Can I ask JJ, did you have a good time today?
I loved it. I don't want to go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
If you
Yes or
don't
no?
stay.
Yes or no? Did you have a good time?
Oh, no, you asshole. He's going to splice into yes to the answer.
Oh, damn it.
I thought you were going to invite me to be the Jew who sits here on the next host.
How about this? Because they ask me about other comics and trash and other comics, and I'm a comic. Why don't you ask them what director's a hack? Why don't you go after that?
No,
Oh, my God.
It's too involved for now. It's too involved for now.
They wanted to throw me under the...
No, you can't do that.
He took 2 characters from Oz and put them on Lost, okay? Right there.
There you go.
Fucking clever.
That was good.
Okay, do you know who the 2 characters were? No.
Yeah, out of BC.
Oh, God.
Wow.
And Michael.
And Michael, yeah.
Wow, very good. JJ, we're all going to watch Revolution Monday nights at 10 p.m. on NBC. This is going to be
very
a good
cool.
one.
Oh, thanks, you guys.
Absolutely.
J.J. Abrams back to television.
Thanks very much.
We'll take a quick break and we'll finish up next.
You know what? I think I'm going to run, too.
Oh, shut up.
You have nowhere to go. Don't make believe you have somewhere to go. J.J. Abrams, everyone.